In world of video game, people like to make ports of stuff all the time. We've seen game developers make port of movie, port of board game, port of drinking soda. But we've seen even more of port of pinball game. The pinball video game is something I've never really been able to get behind. To me, playing pinball is an incredibly sensory experience. You know, it's a lot about how the machine feels, all the blinks and the blamos that the machine makes. You know, the blamos. So I'd say it's even more of a sensory experience than playing an arcade game. I'd rather be at an actual pinball machine than at an arcade cabinet. But I don't know what I was gonna say for that. That doesn't really make sense. Yeah, long story short, I think pinball's more important to play in person than arcade games. I don't really know where I was going with that one. I definitely get why making pinball games would be appealing to game developers. Like, A, it's really easy to program, and B, if it's already a pre-existing franchise, it's easy to program, and also even easier to just put a bunch of references in each table, and then call it a day. You go home for work. I meant go home from work. But here's the catch. I mean, it's virtual pinball. There's not that much you can explore with it. There's a definite ceiling for how much fun you can have with each game.
There was a slew of arcade pinball video games, but I'm looking at console stuff today. First up, we have an old HAL Laboratory game, Rollerball. First things first, the menu music is bumpin'. I have been presented with two options, Skyscraper and Match Play. Listen, I'm certainly an idiot, but this makes no sense. Why are these the only options?
I'm gonna go with Skyscraper. That seems like the good one. Am I making the right choice? I don't know if I'm making the right choice ever anymore.
Well, sadly, this game is absolute dog balls. Only half the bumpers work. Like, pressing A and or B only moves the bumper on the right. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or not, but that's just the way Rollerball is. If you're sad about that though, don't worry, cause HAL Laboratory made another pinball game, so they have a chance at redemption. Pinball Revenge of the Gator is a pretty early Game Boy game, and given how early it came out, the presentation's pretty good so far. Okay, they have Match Play again. What the hell is Match Play? I'm gonna play the normal mode first. So I think I was just wrong and you can use the left paddle in Rollerball. You just have to press left on the control pad. Why not mention that anywhere? It seems like a weird choice to just have that be the default. Revenge of the Gator is fun, but it's an early Game Boy game, so like, there's only one table. If I was a kid with a Game Boy in the 90s, I would have played it, but nowadays I'm fine with only playing it once. Time to play Match Play. Never mind, I cannot select it. Wonderful. I think it's safe to say I don't miss HAL making pinball games.
You know, I'll tell you this, the first thing I want from a pinball game is Match Play. You can't get me no Match Play. What's even the point of playing pinball? It's not the balls. It's not the balls. And you can quote me on that one. Well, those were pretty bad and not fun, so we're gonna move on to the Super Nintendo now and see if the improved hardware helped the game developers at making a pinball better. Oh, now I'm zoomed all the damn way in. What the? The light's different now. Oh! Let's check out Pinball Dreams.
Well, they certainly kept it straightforward with the menu.
In Pinball Dreams, the player is presented with 4 lovely options. Ignition, Steel Wheel, Beat Blocks, and Nightmare. Nightmare.
Let's try Ignition. Oh my god, who is that? And why'd they turn into a ball?
So apparently the character is from the Munch Bunch, who are a group of pre-existing characters. I feel sorry for whoever gave the rights away, because evidently they fucked your guy's shit up. Look at it. Look what they did to him. It's all pixelated and scary looking. I don't like it. Don't want it near me, don't want it on me.
I was worried about this when I saw the menu, and playing the game pretty much confirms it. This game was for sure made by people who had never made a video game before. It's minimalist and bad. But I don't blame them for it, really. It was 1993, and also, who cares? Even calling the beginning a menu screen is giving it too much credit, because you can't leave and pick a different table. You just have to reset your SNES if you want to do that.
I really, truly do not want to play this game any longer, but also I need to check out Nightmare. It's just a horror movie themed table. Awesome stuff, Pinball Dreams. Okay, so next up we have Super Pinball Behind the Mask. Hey guys, what's up with the creepy subtitle? Giving your game the subtitle Behind the Mask does not make me want to play pinball. It doesn't make me want to play any video game.
If they were gonna go all out with style and presentation, why'd they choose this font? It feels like an indie horror movie.
This game comes with a total of 3 themed tables. Jolly Joker, Blackbeard, and Iron Men, and Wizard. I'm gonna play them all.
Jolly Joker is off to a good start, but I think the fact that the last few games I played didn't even really function is why I'm so easily impressed right now. This one is functionally pinball. It doesn't do anything beyond what a pinball table has, but it does pinball well. I think this is just a trait of pinball and something I just didn't notice before, but at the beginning of each round it'll say skill shot on screen, and then all you do is shoot your ball normally and it gives you a bunch of points. That's what a skill shot is, I guess. This is another just general criticism of pinball, but I don't get why so many people use the horror theme. I don't know if this is only me, but I don't want to feel loosely uncomfortable when I'm playing pinball, you know? I got the Joker thing and it gave me 2 balls, which is pretty awesome. I played this for a little while and got 14 million points.
Next up is Blackbeard and Iron Men. These guys could have used a little "the," if you know what I mean.
I don't really know why I was expecting something different for Blackbeard and Iron Man. Unsurprisingly, it's just kind of the same thing as the last table, but instead of clowns, it's pirates now. So in my books, that's a net win. I don't like it when Blackbeard looks at me like that. Why are the extra ball screens so weird in this game? I feel violated and I just want to move on.
The next board that's being played is Wizard.
This one is definitely my favorite. The table is just cool, and the fact that it's just called Wizard is really funny to me. Okay, so I got this thing called Enigma, which presented me with a roulette, which then gave me Light Mystery. You know, I think they were right in naming this Enigma, because it doesn't make any sense. Limbo?
Did a cherub just fly by?
Mystery Select?
Hocus Pocus or 20 million? Fuck! They know I can't pick between those!
I panicked and chose Hocus Pocus. Unfortunately, I have no idea what it does, because I immediately lost upon choosing it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it! We spelled Wizard! Hell yeah, Wizard's Amusement Park! Hey, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure they reused the eye-opening animation from Blackbeard and Iron Man for this. That's kinda lame.
Well, that's it for Super Pinball. It's just pinball. Also, I don't know where the mask factors into any of this. They made a Super Pinball 2, but it was released in Japan only. It's got Space Sister, Spy level name, and Clown level name. I can't remember what the names of the 2 other levels are, and that is all I have written down in my notes.
Super Pinball 2 is for sure the definitive Super Pinball to play. It sucks that it was only released in Japan initially. It has better designed tables and also better music on the same engine, so you know, it truly is better in every way. My favorite part about this game is the table that's "We're not ripping off James Bond" themed, and it has pixel art that is so clearly just based on Sean Connery's actual face. Accidental angle change!
These pinball tables based on original concepts are cool, but now I want to look into stuff based off pre-existing properties, because that feels like a real trait of pinball to me. Sonic Spinball is something I definitely consider an innovator in the pinball video game world. I guess world is the word I'd use there, but I've encountered a few issues. The first one is that I have a first generation Sega Genesis, meaning it doesn't have AV cables, so I can't capture any footage from my Genesis.
What? What? What?
What makes this worse is that I was looking for Genesis emulators online, and apparently none of them are from trustworthy websites, so I'm not even testing that. Which basically means the only option I had left was to either just capture someone else's footage off YouTube, or play Game Boy Advance Sonic Spinball, but I don't need to do any of that. I don't know, Sonic Spinball is a pretty popular game, and I think definitely does something interesting with the format. There's already enough stuff online praising Sonic Spinball that honestly I don't think you need me to sell the game to you if it hasn't already. I don't know, Sonic Spinball, pretty good. Great soundtrack. Toxic Caves and Showdown, awesome. Showdown's the one that goes like... You know, it's not the end of the world though, because Sega made another Sonic Pinball game. Another one? What? That's my impression of you. You're going, oh, what? Another Sonic game? Another Sonic Pinball game? My life is complete. I know, it's awesome, right? Yes, it is really awesome.
Yeah! No! Yeah! Listen, I got a 2-in-1 game. Can you blame me? Sonic Pinball Party is a game. It's a little disappointing, to be honest. Like, Sega is competent enough and had the team and budget to make a functional pinball game, but there's not much going on beyond that. I think it's just lacking character, maybe? The ball moves really slowly. It's a definite step down from Super Pinball in terms of physics. There's a Sonic table and there's a Knights table. In the Sonic one, you can kill badniks for points, and in the Knights one, they have these funny little creatures. The Knights table is more fun. There's also a story mode wherein Dr. Eggman canonically has a pinball tournament in the Casinopolis zone from Sonic Adventure, which is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I love it.
Now we have Pokemon Pinball, and not only one of them, but 2 of them.
The first Pokemon Pinball is for the Game Boy Color, and there's immediately way more going on than there was in Revenge of the Gator. Yeah, that game came out actually a decade before Pokemon Pinball, but I'm allowed to praise Game Freak for furthering pinball design. Wait, no, that's stupid. Pokemon Pinball is very okay. Like, the tables are super cute and charming, but something I noticed about pinball games on Game Boy when coming back to them is that there's just not enough screen space, and instead of scrolling, there are these multiple screens. It just makes it look a little bit weird to me. Sometimes Pokemon silhouettes appear on the table and you have to play pinball until you're able to catch them. It's a neat tweak to the gameplay that makes it very Pokemon. Here's a weird thing though, this game only has Gen 1 Pokemon, but on the Pokemon Blue table, it plays the theme from Cyanwood City from Gold and Silver. This game was made during Gold and Silver's development cycle, so I understand it was easy to program the song in, but in retrospect, it just makes me want Gen 2 Pokemon to appear. Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire has all the good design of the original without the limitations of the Game Boy. Pokemon Pinball is the only game so far to do something creative with the format. Unsurprisingly, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire is the best thing I've played. It's the little things coming together that really makes this one good. The spoink launching your Pokeball is a nice touch. Both tables are good, but I'd say I like Ruby a little bit more because of the Cyndaquil. Also, I would not mind at all if they made the evolution screen in the main series look like it does in this game. Also, I didn't mention this before, but I like the Pokemon Blue table more in the original Pokemon Pinball because of the Shelders and the Slowpokes. They're cute. I like Gen 1 water Pokemon.
Next up we have Pac-Man Pinball Advance, a game known for its fantastic cutscene work.
Let's see what tables we can pick. That is maybe the most compressed image I've ever been subjected to, and the actual levels don't get much better. This game just kinda looks gross. The thing is that pinball, by design, is inherently fun to me. Like, you need to fuck up pinball a lot for it to be so not fun that it's unplayable. Pac-Man Pinball Advance is as bad as pinball can get without being unplayable. It's dog balls, but it's not as bad as Pinball Dreams. This is the first game I played where I didn't play it through until I lost all my lives. I just captured what I needed to get and then I quit the fuck.
Out of the pinball games based on video game characters we've played so far, the Sonic one was okay, both Pokemon ones were pretty great, and the Pac-Man one was bad. So, given the fact that the Pokemon ones were the good ones, I'd expect Nintendo has their shit together when making video pinball. Without further ado, I give you
Mario Pinball Land!
I take it back. Are you like me and you're tired of playing pinball video games based on video game characters? Maybe feeling like playing something a bit more Japanese? Well, I got the games for you. Battle Pinball is a Super Nintendo game featuring your favorite Bon Presto characters such as Ultraman, the Gundam, and other fellas.
Jokes aside, this game is sick as fuck. Like, oh my god, I was surprised at how good it is. You beat the shit out of mechs and monsters by playing pinball on them. Like, come on! What really sets this game apart from everything else I've played is how perfectly it mixes arcade and pinball gameplay. The other games stick to the laws of classic pinball, but this feels like if you turned pinball into a beat-em-up. It's surprising how much the simple tweak of changing scoring points into doing damage changes the playing experience. The game design helps this, as the tables are specifically made for this kind of gameplay and not regular pinball. There are a whole bunch of things you can interact with in each level that all do wild stuff. My favorite example of this is when this dude kicks me directly into a moving car that brings me to the next screen. My favorite level is the Ultraman one. It's a city battle where you can destroy infrastructure and what I assume are kaijus or giant mechs. It's fantastic. Each level also has a screen with a boss on it you can unlock. Once you beat the boss, you win the level, so they also made it possible to actually win at pinball. Battle Pinball has a quintessentially SNES-like jammy soundtrack. I'd honestly go as far as calling this a hidden gem. This one's really good, actually. You should try playing it.
That game put me in the mood for more battle-oriented pinball, so let's see what the Power Rangers have in store.
No matter which way you swing it, you gotta admit, that was frickin' awesome. The first thing that caught my eye is that they just used scenes from the TV show.
Well anyway, let's see how it plays. I liked it more when it was Ultraman.
It's just a little disappointing going from Battle Pinball to this. It's just regular pinball with a pre-rendered background and some 3D models thrown on top. Even if you do technically fight them, it's not nearly as satisfying. You can transform into a Megazord, and it does a cool cutscene, but all that does is give you extra points. Kind of lame is a term I would use to capture the overall feel of this game. This cutscene, though, makes the whole thing worth it.
Right. Smorgasbord time!
That is really how they wanted to start their game.
Are you like me and you don't want to play any more pinball video games based on Japanese properties anymore? Feeling like playing something a little bit more British? Well, I got the game for you. Austin Powers Pinball. They really made that, didn't they?
Gotham Games.
This game is made by Batman? So this part has me truly perplexed. I booted it up more than once, and yes, this is just how the game starts. A black loading screen, and then the music starts to play and the menu won't show up until you press a button. Game design. Well, here we have it, the choice of 2 tables, based on the first 2 Austin Powers movies respectively. I'm playing them in order of canon. If you asked me in a survey what my favorite part of video games were, I'd certainly say the loading screen. The joke is that I wouldn't say that.
Danger's my middle name.
Okay, so the game is awful, but that's not what matters here. For how shitty of a pinball simulation this is, it's so full of character. It's ripe with references, and it's just kinda dumb. Even though it's bad, it's like bad in a fun way, and it never really takes away from the experience. I also feel like there's something to be said about the fact that because it's Austin Powers Pinball, the bar is set so low that no matter what, the game will be enjoyable. There are a bunch of voice clips that play, but what is by far my favorite is how every single time you die on the first table, it plays this clip of Austin Powers flipping into a car and landing on his balls. Every time.
I've lost my mojo.
The Spy Who Shagged Me table is not as good as the International Man of Mystery one, but it's dumber, therefore it's more fun. The faces just crack me up. There's also like a thing that you can hit that gives you a mission, but both times I hit it, I died immediately after, so I have no idea what they do. Also Mini-Me. Yeah!
So the question remains, is the pinball video game a viable format in today's gaming climate? I'm gonna consider Battle Pinball a complete fluke and say no, not at all. It's like pinball but not as fun. You heard it here first, folks. Go home and eat some toast.
Pinball, you go breaking my heart again. You started off and there was the level with the creepy fruits. And then there was the level with the pirates where you could have maybe put the in your sentence somewhere. And then don't forget the level. Don't forget the one with Sonic. That one was kind of boring. But what's worse than boring is bad, like the Pac-Man game. But don't forget, after the Pac-Man game is when we get to Battle Pinball, the awesome one.
And then after that, it's Austin Powers Pinball, Shagadelic.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell button. That means that you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. It's pretty awesome. Well anyway, keep playing pinball and keep farting.